So, you know how I often talk about the fact that Jesus, the story of Jesus, or any of these myths and heroes and legends are all related to you as consciousness and flesh. When I say you, I mean every expression, it applies to you in one way or the other, yeah? So I was thinking about the Immaculate Conception, yeah? And in actual fact, yeah? We say we are born, yeah? But can we ever confirm that we were born? Because we actually can't. And we say others die, yeah? But can we actually truly know what death actually is? Because think about this, yeah? Both birth and death are scripts in the illusion, yeah? Perfectly played, but never proven, yeah? Because we rely on photos, videos, names, dates, yeah, etc., etc. But these are memories that we didn't make. These are stories that are told to us as the truth of what happened. It's not verifiable, it's not provable, it's not testable. Because everything from that point on exists in the matrix, it exists in the illusion. Yeah? So in the same way we appear in a dream, yeah, mid scene, yeah, or mid narrative, you were inserted here mid narrative. That's why you don't remember your birth. You just remember the moment you became self-aware. Mid flow, mid narrative. Nobody knows when it happens. It just sort of happens. Yeah. True or false? So your birth is just as like immaculate as any myth because it can never be truly verified. And death is just the transition in the simulation because you're not born, you arrive, similar to what happens in a dream, and you don't die, you simply log off, yeah? The real story is awareness, watching it all unfold. Facts. Let me actually strengthen this a little bit because I know that most people that are trapped in the flesh and can't really think past their noses will usually say stupid shit like, oh well, I saw the video of my birth, or I saw the video of, or I saw my child being born, so therefore, yeah. But seeing a birth or seeing a death or seeing a video of your own birth, for instance, right, doesn't really confirm the ultimate truth. It only confirms the experience of a narrative. Okay? This is a fact. Yeah? Because just as a movie will convince you of an alien invasion, yeah? The illusion called life, or the dream of life, is also reinforced by constructs within itself. Yeah? So the constructs, the illusion has constructs within itself to confirm the illusion or help strengthen or reinforce the illusion. What do I mean by this? That means that the only things you can use to confirm the narrative are all things that belong or are from the matrix or the illusion itself. Yeah. So videos, witnesses, documents, they're all part of the same dream logic. They are not external. You as consciousness are external to all of it. You are the observer. There's nothing from the observation point, yeah, that confirms that yes, you were truly born. Yes, you truly died. Yes, you truly witnessed a birth. Yeah, because your birth or like death or whatever, or seeing someone's birth is a scripted insertion point in the story called life. Yeah, you appear in other people's narratives, but that narrative has to make sense as part of the illusion. Yeah, 1 second, I need to answer this. Yeah, so birth or death or any evidence of your birth or a death or whatever is a scripted insertion or exit point in the story you call life, because you appear or disappear in other people's narratives just like they appear and disappear in yours, but none of it actually proves the origin or end, yeah? Just the continuity of the experience, yeah? So it's almost like, because you coming here isn't when you're born. Awareness happens when you become self-aware. So it's almost like an insertion point. You know, the story has to make sense. Yeah. It like, yeah, the story has to make sense, basically. So then I know that naturally the next question would be, well, because someone left a comment on something I posted to say, well, the woman is the portal to the matrix and all the rest of it. And it's a profound question, actually. But the woman is both the portal to the matrix and also the illusion of a portal to the matrix. It all depends on your level of perception. Yeah. What do I mean by this? From the perspective or the point of view of the dreamer, the ego / the self. Yeah. Then women appear as the portal to life. Yeah. The bringer of form, emotion, sensuality, and birth. Yeah. It's almost like they are a gateway to the material realm. Yeah. This is why women are often attached to the material realm, and they are more aligned with the ego than, or more aligned with the material than the spiritual. You don't have to take my word for this. This is actually, you can actually, if you want to, you know, argue with somebody, go and argue with whoever wrote Genesis, go and argue with the makeup industry, go and argue with go and argue with, all of that before you come and tell me that I'm talking crazy. Yeah, it's a fact. Women are more aligned with the material. Now, from the perspective of the awakened observer, i.e. awareness, or the I am, higher level of consciousness, like the awareness itself, should I say, then women are merely the symbol, that represents, how do I say this? The archetypal feminine, the receptive principle of the one. Because the one itself is all things. It's both the receptor and the giver. So if the woman as a symbol represents the receptive principle through which consciousness appears to manifest. She is not the origin. She is the veil through which source reflects itself into the illusion. So yes, she is the portal she's a portal in the story. In the story called life, or the dream called life that we're in right now, which is happening in the mind of God. The woman represents the portal. She is the portal in the story, but she is not actually the source of consciousness actually experiencing itself here. She appears to be. She's the illusion of one. Because the story itself is the illusion. So everything within the story is illusion. So therefore she's the illusion of a portal. Because the thing itself, if we strip away the matrix code, the thing itself is inserting itself as masculine, feminine, masculine, feminine, feminine. Masculine, feminine, masculine, feminine, masculine, feminine, masculine, feminine. That's what the thing is doing. Cycling itself and bringing itself into form all the time. But it has to use contrast to be able to experience itself and witness itself. So it has to have symbols and archetypes, just like you have in a dream. So within the illusion of its experiencing itself, called life or the dream, it creates all these symbols, one of them being the archetypal feminine, which is the portal through which it appears to bring itself into form, but it's coming into form anyway. The story is the overlay. Do you get it? So women actually, you can think of them as, maybe if you want, she's like a mask. Women represent maybe like a mask of the illusion. Divine, beautiful, powerful, but ultimately they're actually not the source itself. Do you get it? But then I'm not saying that the masculine is the source of life either, because the masculine is also an illusion. Because And I've said this before, but again, I think I said this previously, I can't remember when, but essentially, both masculine and feminine are components of the one. The one is, if you like, is androgyne, if you like, but essentially, masculine and feminine are just like aspects of the same one thing. And if you want to, let's use like video game speak to make it easier. So think of it like maybe player 1 and player 2 avatars in the game, yeah? Both of them appear essential to the storyline, yeah? One of them is, maybe coded as the projector, yeah, or giver if you like, and the other one is coded as the receiver, yeah? So to us in the story, it appears like the masculine plants the seed, yeah, the action orientation, and the feminine births the form, yeah, manifestation. But here's the real kicker. Neither is the true player, yeah, because the true player is awareness itself. It's outside of the screen, yeah. They are characters. So that confirms that you are an avatar. You're not awareness in this. You're awareness here, but through a character, yeah. So don't identify with the character. Don't identify with the avatar's bullshit, yeah. So just from this analogy, you can see that yes, they are characters, they are avatars, preloaded with roles, reactions, dialogue, fucking expressions, drives, instincts, whatever. They interact, yeah, with each other. They create drama, they build universes, all the rest of it, conflicts, fucking resolution, love, because it's a shared connection with itself, because it's all code, yeah. Because when you strip away the film of the dream or the storyline, the fucking video game thing, if you strip away this illusion, what's happening is pure energy is splitting itself into different poles and cycling itself, yeah, and it keeps reappearing into form, bringing itself into form and collapsing itself and bringing itself into form, collapsing itself, bringing itself into form. Blah, 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 blah. It's a pulsing energy, yeah, peak trough, like the electromagnetism thing. It just peaks and troughs forever. Yeah, that's what's happening. But when you add a storyline, like you put like a mask or a suit over it, it appears like, oh, that's a man. Oh, that's a woman. Oh, look, they just had a baby and the baby just appeared, and the baby has also got its own role and fucking dialogue and reaction and drama and drives and fucking things, and you're interacting and you're building a world and a family, blah, 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 and it's going on, and he goes on to do this and he goes on to do that, and he meets her and he meets a girl and they have a baby. Blah, 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 blah. It's all fucking a story. It's illusion. Underneath it all is one thing that is just fucking cycling itself. Okay, that's what's happening. Yeah. So if you want to look at it from the video game standpoint, because it does help, all of this stuff, the masculine feminine dance, is happening in the screen. Outside of the screen is awareness. That's your true self. The energy that's doing all this dancing, yeah, is behind the screen, yeah, because it's controlling the whole thing. The choices have already been made, guys, yeah. So it's just one controller, one gamer, awareness, I am. That's it, yeah. So the masculine isn't the source of life. He is the illusion of the origin of life, just as the feminine is the illusion of becoming, yeah. One pushes, the other receives. One pushes, the other receives. But it's just this one thing pushing and receiving and collapsing into form and blah, 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 yeah. So the true source is the consciousness dreaming both roles, both avatars in reality, yeah. So maybe for simplicity's sake, think of it like a video game like The Sims, yeah. The masculine can be seen as maybe the game engine which initiates the simulation, yeah, and then the feminine is the interface that renders it into form. But at the same time, the characters, there's a masculine, a fractalized masculine and a fractalized feminine, and one of them also initiates the birthing process, the other one renders it into form, and they have a child, yeah. But ultimately, if we strip it all back to the beginning, it's just one thing initiating the simulation, and the very same one thing is also the interface that renders it into form, yeah. But you, the gamer, the witness. You are not in the screen. You are watching this whole thing unfold. There's just a story overlay and you're participating in it at the same time. Yeah? So both masculine and feminine are illusions of the code of polarity, yeah, which is part of consciousness itself. Yeah? And only when the avatar awakens to its true origin or true kind of essence does the avatar realize that, oh shit, it's all a simulation of source playing with itself and I'm part of this play. These is facts, man.